안녕하세요, 여러분. Hi, everyone. I'm Serin, and I will be in charge of this month's Single Scoop episode. I have been looking forward to this episode because it is literally a part of my childhood, and it's something that deserves to be known and remembered as part of K-pop history. Well, it's my personal opinion, of course, but my point still stands. Now, if you are a K-pop fan, you'll most likely be familiar with audition shows like Superstar K, K-Pop Star, the Produce 101 franchise, Peak Time, Always Planet, and so on. While I personally haven't tuned into idol auditions for a couple of years, I did watch a great deal of them when I was a teenager. So as my team was discussing our Single Scoops episodes for this year, the topic of audition shows came up while I was brainstorming. And my mind drifted towards one particular show I tuned into when I was actually a little kid, Battle Shinhwa. I decided to rewatch the series for the first time in exactly 20 years. How time flies. And looking back on the episodes and the contestants made me realize the impact it held on the 90s babies and the second-gen fans like me. As a quick disclaimer, I'm going to be focusing more on the contestants rather than the show itself, as I think that the connection many stars have to this particular one program is fascinating. So let's jump in. Before we get into this episode, I will give a brief explanation of Shinhwa, who plays an important role in the show. Shinhwa is a boy band that debuted from SM Entertainment in 1998. Contrary to the norm of groups disbanding after a few years, Shinhwa left SM together and signed under Good Entertainment, which was set up by former SM staff who transitioned into producers. Then they released their 7th album, Brand New, which became the 5th most sold album of 2004. Despite the remaining trademark feuds with SM and the public's doubts on their continued success, the group won 2 Taesangs, grand prizes, and welcomed a new peak in their career. And they did all of this while maintaining the original lineup for the past 27 years. So Shinhwa has a fascinating history, so we'll have to do a deep dive on them someday post-HOT project. But for now, that catches you up enough to understand what's going on here. Let's Cook Play Battle Shinhwa, often shortened to Petu Shinhwa, was an audition program with the aim to create, quote-unquote, the next Shinhwa. It aired on Mnet every Friday at 6 p.m. from April 29, 2005 to November 4th, 2005. I do have to clarify that Battle Shinhwa was not Korea's first K-pop audition show. There were previous examples of idols/musicians becoming judges in audition shows with intent to find potential trainees, such as Kangta and Heejun of HOT in SBS's Battle of the Century, 세계의 대결, or Park Jin-young, JYP in SBS's Prodigy Development Project, Challenge of the 99%, 영재 육성 프로젝트 99%의 도전. There was also a nationwide audition show with the purpose of putting together an idol group with the help of public voting. And that was MBC's Acton Club, which aired from January 2001 to March 2002 and birthed a boy group of the same name. However, this was the first time an idol group hosted their own audition show specifically to create and train a prodigy idol group. Battle Shinhwa was co-created by Good Entertainment, Shinhwa's label, Coca-Cola, and Mnet. Due to this, applications were accepted through www.cookplay.com starting on March 31st, 2005. Baseball player turned commentator Kang Byung-gyu was confirmed to join as the main host, with Kang Won-rae of Clone, solo singer Kim Wan-sun, and producers An Jung-hoon and Kim Do-yeon joining as guest judges. Battle Shinhwa consisted of a total of 28 episodes. Applicants would participate in the monthly preliminary audition rounds, which went on for 5 months. Each cycle was distinguished into 5 terms. This was the best translation I could come up with, by the way, in total, depending on which month it took place. There were 5 rounds of these terms in total, so term 1 to term 5, or in Korean, 1기 to 5기, with term 5 accepting applicants from outside Seoul, such as Busan, Daejeon, other cities, and from overseas. Term 1 consisted of the following pattern. First, contestants submitted their applications either offline or online through the Cookplay homepage, where viewers could watch and review the audition clips. The first 150 applicants would be reduced to 60 by the time of Shinhwa's evaluation, and 30 of them would be selected by the judges. Then those 30 people would be split into teams and they will be assigned a Shinhwa song to cover. As an exception, Term 3's mission songs consisted of other musicians' songs that were covered by Shinhwa, and Term 4's songs were popular summer songs in general. The team that earned the most audience votes would have their song chosen as the monthly finals jam song, while the Cookplay voters picked out 12 contestants. Last but not least, the survivors performed this selected jam song with their individual performance. 6 winners became the winner of the month and advanced to the next round. Meanwhile, the survivors of the previous turns would simultaneously be assigned with a new mission, such as performing for a charity event or writing the show's theme song. The cycle stayed the same for the rest of the terms, with 6 contestants from the new term becoming the monthly finalists and joining the survivor cast, and 3 of them being eliminated at the monthly finals. With this cycle, plus a few withdrawals, unfortunately, the survivors were condensed to the top 15. They were then sent to Muju Resort for a teamwork building bootcamp for 4 days, where 2 contestants were eliminated. The top 13 were then assigned missions to hold a surprise concert in Daeangro and do a photo shoot. 1 more contestant was eliminated, leaving the top 12 to advance to the grand finale. The last episode was aired live at the Olympic Weightlifting Gymnasium, now renamed as Uri Artals, which is located in the Olympic Park. The top 12 got to perform an original song titled Soar or Bisang, written specifically for the finals. The 6 members of Shinhwa each selected 1 member as the winners, who would receive 100 million Korean won in total, and release their debut album in early 2006 under Good Entertainment. Side note, Shinhwa announced that they will also bring 2 of the remaining girls, Choi Jina and Chun Yoo-sung, under their roster and accept them as their additional trainees. So let's move on to the lineup. On November 4th, 2005, the winners were announced as Park Ji-hoon, chosen by Jeonjin, Jung Young-look, chosen by Hye-sung, Won Sung-jae, chosen by Andy, Kim Jang-yeon, chosen by Dong-hwan, Jin Tae-hwa, chosen by Minwoo, and Shin Gi-yeon, chosen by Eric. However, Chang-yeon was excluded from the lineup and was replaced by Kim Tae-hwan, one of the other top 12 finalists. Won Sung-jae debuted under the stage name Ryu. He was born in Seoul on April 18, 1987, and was the leader, rapper, and support vocalist of the group. Prior to auditioning on Battle Shinhwa, Sung-jae was a child actor and model. Shin Gi-yeon was born in Seoul on June 19, 1987. He was the support vocalist of the group. Ki-hyun was noted for his height. He towered at 186 centimeters, and his resemblance to actress Lee Na-young, which became a sort of running gag on his variety appearances. Park Ji-hoon, also known by his stage name Leo, was born in Seoul on August 21st, 1987. He was the other rapper of the group. He was studying in mainland China as an exchange student and chose to audition during his school holiday. Jin Tae-hwa's legal birthday is January 1st, 1988. He hails from Cheongju, Chungcheongbuk-do. Tae-hwa was the main vocalist and a fan favorite throughout the series. He was undoubtedly the most popular contestant, with his biggest fan cafe having up to 18,000 users. He even won the Netizen Popularity Award on the final episode of the audition. Kim Tae-hwan, who debuted under the name Hui-chan, was born in Busan on June 8, 1988. Tae-hwan was among the top 12 but was not chosen for the final lineup. He was later brought in as Chang-yeon's replacement and became the team's lead vocalist. Finally, Jung Young-look is also known by his English name Christopher Jung, or his stage name Chris. The maknae and support vocalist of the group was born on October 27, 1989, but immigrated to the US in 2001 and spent the majority of his school years there. He was back in Korea for a vacation when he applied for the audition. Of course, there are several more contestants from this show who became celebrities. I won't name every single one of them, but some of the bigger names are worth mentioning in this podcast. The first person that deserves to be mentioned is Kim Jang-yeon. Chang-yeon was one of the Term 2 applicants, and as I said earlier, was the finalist chosen by Dong-hwan. However, he was removed from the lineup. The official reason Good Entertainment gave was because he didn't fit the team's image. Still, this wasn't the end of the world for Chang-yeon, as he debuted in 2007 as the leader and only male member of Sunny Hill. After Sunhill's rebrand in 2011 and his own enlistment, Changhyun released his last single as the group in 2014 and left to focus on producing. He is currently songwriting and producing under the name Space One. Some of his works include Yum Yum by Produce 101, I'm Not Cool by Hyuna, What Type of X by Jessie, and Neverland by Nine Eye. Lee Seung-yeon was one of the Term 1 applicants alongside Shin Tae-hwa. He debuted as Seung-lee of Big Bang in 2006, so he practically was active around the same time as Battle. Seung-lee was undoubtedly one of the biggest outputs from this show. However, we all know how that went down. He left the group in 2019 after the Burning Sun Gate. Chon Yo-sung was a Term 2 contestant and, as mentioned above, was one of the 3 girls who were among the top 12. She was offered a contract under Good Entertainment and was slated to debut as Good Entertainment's new girl group, Osonya. Osonya translates to 5 girls. However, Osonya's debut was cancelled due to Good EMG's bankruptcy. She then moved to TS Entertainment and debuted as the leader of Secret in 2009. Choi Jina, aka Gina Jane Choi, was a Korean-Canadian girl from Term 4 alongside Rue. She was the other girl who got signed under Good Entertainment and was also a part of Osonya. After Osonya's debut was scrapped, Gina appeared in the music video for 2PM's 10 out of 10 and debuted under Cube Entertainment as soloist Gina in 2010. Sadly, she was involved in a prostitution scandal in 2016 and has stayed out of the public eye ever since. Lee Min-hyuk was one of the Term 5 applicants alongside Ki-hyun, Fi-chan, and Chris. Min-hyuk initially trained under Ullim Entertainment as a contender for Infinite, but he moved to Brand New Stardom and debuted as Bebom of Block B in 2011. Side note, Bebom was actually in the same group as Chris/Hyungrok when Term 5 did their Shina song cover mission, so you can actually see his performance circulating on YouTube to this day. And Bebom still remembered his verse from Shinhwa's O during 2011-2012, so it was kind of cute. Son Ga-in was eliminated in the Term 1 finals. She was spotted venting and crying by producer An Jung-un and was offered to audition for Naga Network, where An was working under. She eventually debuted as a member of Brown Eyed Girls in 2006. Other notable examples include soloist Taegun. Taegun was also in the top 12, by the way. Soloist Juniel, Alice of Hello Venus, and 10 of April, formerly known as Minsal of Touch. So now let's move on to the history of the resulting group, Battle. As mentioned before, Battle's lineup was finalized on November 4th, 2005, and Shina promised to debut the group within 6 months. However, coupled with Changhyun's departure and other internal reasons, their debut didn't quite materialize until December 2006. That was a whole year after Battle Shinhwa ended. In the meantime, the members made a guest appearance on the music video of Shina's Once in a Lifetime, which was also released in 2006. Leo also had a guest feature on Chunjin's Dorawajo, Come Back to Me, and participated in the live shows about a month before the group's official debut. Unfortunately, by the time Battle finally made their debut in December 2006, the auditions fervor had long died down. Other second-gen boy groups like TVXQ, Double S501, and Super Junior were already flourishing and competing with each other on the charts. Not to mention another rookie group, Big Bang, was also freshly in the industry, and they got their breakthrough only a year later. Battle's debut song, a dark dance pop titled Crash from their mini-album of the same name, was met with lukewarm reviews. Still, Shina poured in all their might to promote their prodigy group, having them perform as guest musicians for their fan meets and concerts, or even appearing on variety shows together. Battle also received tremendous media push from Mnet, such as being heavily featured on MPIC. Ki-hyun became one of the new MCs of K-On TV's show Music Tank alongside Sunday of Cheonsangji in April 2007. Meanwhile, Chris became the host of Mnet's Pop magazine. Battle went on to release Mare, Tell Me in May 2007, promoting the title song of the same name with a brighter, more bubblegum pop image. Ryu also appeared on the drama My Mom Supermom or 최강 우리 엄마 during this time. There was a slight gap between the two releases when they went to promote in China for 3 months, which was actually fitting due to Leo's experience of studying in the mainland and speaking a bit of the language. Finally, in June 2008, Battle released their last project, Step by Step. This was their first release as a quintet after Ki-hyun left the group to pursue a career in acting. Step by Step showed a completely different concept, veering far from their previous dance pop or teen pop, and pursuing a more quote-unquote throwback electronic sound inspired by New Kids on the Block. The group's position in the industry already struggled with subpar chart performances and album sales, but the fatal blow was the label's bankruptcy. Good Entertainment was an independent agency set up for Shina's management, created by the group's former staff from SM. Shina enjoyed their heyday with Brand New and their continued international success, but Good Entertainment continued to expand its business to various branches, various other fields, and purchased the copyrights to Shina's music videos, which left them with a huge debt. For those who are asking why they had to purchase their own copyrights, it's because they wanted to accommodate the Shina Changjo's desires to see their old music videos with the SM logo removed. In January 2006, Good Entertainment acquired an automobile company called Eastern Technology, merging into Good Entertainment Media Group, or Good EMG for short. Amongst the turmoil, Good EMG was no longer able to focus on managing Shina, so Shina had to find other labels or sub-labels to manage their individual activities. By the time Shina released their 9th album in April 2008, Good EMG was already on the brink of delisting. And the copyright agreement between Open World, the company that SM delegated Shina's trademark to, expiring, put them in a bigger debt. So I will link a few old articles in the script that mention Good Entertainment / Good EMG's business expansion and their financial struggles afterwards. Eventually, Shina enlisted one by one, which left Good EMG without their cash cow and basically no money. The label was officially delisted on September 3rd, 2009, and their final trading took place on October 22nd, 2009. In the financial and internal unrest, the future of Battle was left hanging in the air. Battle eventually went on a hiatus as Hee-chan and Leo enlisted in June 2009. The rest of the members also went their separate ways, with Taehwa particularly being transferred to LifeWorks Company and releasing one digital single as a soloist. Just to add my 2 cents here, I think Battle was at least fortunate enough to release 3 EPs while they were still active. Because if you compare them to Osunya's situation, Osunya actually filmed the whole TV show to promote their debut, but their debut got shelved entirely. Fortunately, all 5 members of Osunya would eventually debut as girl group members or soloists to great success, I would say. I mean, there was Yubin, who became a member of Wonder Girls. Yui joined after school. Jiwon was a founding member of Tiara, and she later debuted as a member of Spica. Hyosung became the leader of Secret, and last but not least, Gina debuted as a soloist. So what happened to Battle after their hiatus? The members did meet up from time to time, but as a group, they made one public reunion in 2019 when Hee-chan appeared as a contestant of I Can See Your Voice, 너의 목소리가 보여, Season 6, Episode 2. He was the first person to be eliminated on the episode, and as he sang a Chinese song to reveal his real voice, the other 4 members, without Leo by the way, joined the stage and performed Step by Step together. While Leo couldn't join the reunion due to a business trip, this was a special moment for Ki-hyun particularly because he had left the group before Step by Step was released, and this was basically his first time performing it. So let's start with Ryu's current whereabouts. Ryu played the role of Kang-suk on the 2009 theater rendition of Kung Fu's romance comics, 강풀의 순정만화, and went on to appear in more theater projects and short films as an actor. He also majored in theater at Korea National University of Arts. On January 20th, 2025, he uploaded his new profile photos on Instagram and announced his new stage name, Won Ije. He also joined TikTok in June 2025, with many of his fans being international viewers. If you guys want to watch his live streams, just find Ije on TikTok. It's YIJAE369 on TikTok. He will greet you in Korean, English, even Portuguese. And if you're a Battle Destiny, feel free to follow or subscribe to his TikTok and interact with him. Moving on to Kihyun. After leaving the group, Kihyun majored in film at Konkuk University and played the role of Lee Byung-hun on the KBS drama My Fair Lady, 아가씨를 부탁해. After dealing with label issues, he finished his military service as an auxiliary police officer and appeared in several short films. In 2019, Kihyun reunited with his bandmates on the aforementioned reunion, where he performed Step by Step for the first time. However, a few months later, he was unintentionally dragged into the Burning Sun incident when he was accused of being quote-unquote actor Shin in one of the group chats. On April 5th, Kihyun denied the allegations publicly, pointing out the discrepancies in the article. While he did maintain a close friendship with Sumi due to their appearance on the same audition show, he opined that Sumi deserved to be punished for his crimes. On May 4th, 2019, Kihyun was present at bandmate Hui-chan's wedding, and he filled in as the speaker because their leader, Ryu, was caught in a traffic jam. Kihyun is currently signed under HO Entertainment and going by the stage name Shin Ji-han. He is also giving acting lessons. Apart from appearing in a musical in 2011, Leo is the only member who has no prominent updates on his personal life. He isn't even on social media. However, he has been seen on his former bandmates' Instagram posts a few times, particularly Hui-chan's posts. In the 2021 interview regarding Taehwa's career, one member is mentioned as pursuing a career in construction. This member is most likely to be Leo. And as I said earlier, Leo was absent in the I Can See Your Voice reunion because he was on a business trip. The next member, Taehwa, is currently the only member who is still active in the Korean entertainment industry. As I briefly talked about earlier, he released a solo single, 타락천사 or Fallen Angel, in October 2009. During this time, he stylized his name's romanization to Zin Taehwa with a Z. In 2012, he teamed up with the fellow boy group member and celebrity soccer team player, Park Jung-jin of A-Style, to re-debut in a quintet boy band called MEN in Japan. After finishing his military service as an auxiliary police, Taehwa was advised to try auditioning for musicals by another fellow musician and soccer friend, Kim Jun-soo of former TVXQ and JYJ fame. Starting with the supporting role in Dracula in 2015, he has since established a successful career as a musical theater actor. As of 2025, he is signed under Palm Tree Island, which is Kim Jun-soo's label, and he has starred in 2 musicals in this year alone. Laika in B612 playing the role of Changmi, the Rose, and Swag Age, shout out Chosan, playing the double roles of Shipju and Tamo. And he did announce that he has more projects to come, so let's just wait and see. Moving on to Hui-chan. After being discharged from the army, Hui-chan moved to mainland China and worked as an actor for 4 years. However, his overseas career was put on hold due to the THAAD dispute and the resulting Korea limitation order. He returned to Korea, got married to former model Shin Min-hee, and opened a cafe/bakery called Bangpalgu in Seoul. However, his attempt to expand his business into mainland China was thwarted again by COVID. Fortunately, he managed to open a scone shop called Will Be in Garosu-gil, Gangnam 1 year later, which turned out to be very successful. I linked an article of Hui-chan's interview in the script here, so if you want to know more, you can read it. Will Be ended its business on February 22nd, 2025, and Hui-chan announced on his Instagram that he is preparing to open a campsite in September. So it's gonna open in less than a month. I hope his new business flourishes. The couple's son, Rohan, was born in 2022, and their second child will be born in 2025. Accordingly, Hui-chan runs a second alt account on his Instagram titled Rohan Papa, and it's just full of him having fun, traveling, doing all kinds of activities with his sons. It's so adorable. Last but not least, Chris returned to America, dabbled in modeling, and enrolled in Berkeley, where he graduated with a degree in music. He then moved to Hong Kong. During the 2019 reunion, he was revealed to be teaching music in Singapore. I Can See Your Voice made a mistake and stated that he was teaching English, but Chris corrected it on Instagram. He was like, "No, I'm teaching music. Why would I be teaching English when it's Singapore's official language?" So that was cute. He also released 2 singles under the name Christopher with 2 Eyes. Side note, the last update I got on Chris actually came from the members' live stream on July 20th, so last month. I managed to exchange a few words and bring up Battle Shinhwa, and Taehwa actually told me he was going to meet up with Chris and Yu next week. And both members, Chris and Yu, posted some updates on their respective social media, so we can confirm that the members are still keeping in contact. Now, what conclusion can we draw from Battle Shinhwa? Let's start off with the significance of the generational legacy. Seeing a successful idol group launch a whole audition show to put together an idol group of their own during their first prime of their post-SM career too was a groundbreaking experience. Battle Shinhwa itself opened the new floodgates for K-pop. Remember, this was the mid-2000s, a time when the idol industry was overwhelmed by 3 particular boy groups: TVXQ, S501, and Super Junior, and the R&B soul genre. Remember, this was the mid-2000s, a time when the idol industry was overwhelmed by 3 boy groups: TVXQ, S501, and Super Junior, and the R&B soul genre. 2 of the contestants that were eliminated from the show became Big Bang and Brown Eyed Girls, who became the new powerhouses of second-gen K-pop. Then, the 2 girls that were offered to become trainees were part of a legendary pre-debut lineup that created a whole domino effect in the history of second and third-gen girl groups. Furthermore, one of the members of the group that was formed in this audition is still active as a musical actor. Even if Battle didn't enjoy the sweet stardom that was savored by many of their fellow underdogs years later, the sheer fact that they got to be selected by the public, supported by Shinhwa, and loved by their fans is an admirable flex that one could ever ask for. I hope all the members know that there are a lot of Battle Destinies and K-pop fans out here who miss them dearly. It is truly an honor for me to have personally experienced and witnessed the whole audition. And even if I wasn't the Destiny, I will cherish the memories I have of them. Before wrapping up, I just want our listeners to know that while the script for this episode is 10 pages long, I have 30 pages of notes under it so that you can check it out if you want to know more. Also, I would like to give a huge shout out to 2 people before I finish. First, my moot Val, who is a Shinhwa Changjo and Battle Destiny. She provided me with some of the details behind both groups' histories and this show. Val, thank you so much for reminding me of the Soompi forums because it turned out to be a mine of information that was useful for my research. I've returned the favor by archiving most, if not all, of the 574 tabs on the Battle forum, so feel free to browse the script if you need the link. I would also like to thank Yu, or EJ, for allowing me to mention his current updates on TikTok. For this project, I decided to reach out to 2 of the members of Battle to ask if they were on board with me sharing their social media. Taehwa declined because of privacy issues regarding one of his platforms, but he did inform me that I could ask EJ. So I asked Yu the very next morning, and he immediately said yes. So I want to thank both members, especially Yu, for allowing me to mention his TikTok. I wish the best for your future endeavors and your acting career. 틱톡 근황 언급을 허락해주신 원희재 배우님께, 또 저의 어린 시절을 장식해주신 원승재씨, 배틀의 류씨께 감사드립니다. 꽃길만 걸으시고 앞으로의 배우 활동도 기대할게요. 화이팅입니다. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, then please make sure to rate, subscribe, follow, and tell your friends about us. If you want to interact with us or just see more of our content, then you can follow the links in the description to our website and social media platforms. More single scoops are coming your way soon. Thanks everyone. Bye. 다음에 만나요.